On GAP News, today's redundancies announced by the Ministry of Defence will affect the Army. A total of 4,480 posts are being cut today. Also, Satici accepts caution for assault after photos emerge. Adult porn drawing users towards illegal images of abuse. And Newcastle director Joe Kinnair ridiculed after disastrous Johan Kebab radio interview. Welcome to GAP News. I'm Gary Pendlebury. The redundancies announced by the Ministry of Defence this morning will affect the Army. 4,770 posts are being cut today. Previous reductions have shrunk the Navy and RAF to the size that has been required, but it is taking further redundancy rounds to reduce the Army by a fifth, as set out by the Defence Secretary Philip Hammond. The Ministry of Defence says 84% of the redundancies are from applicants. This means that 16% of the posts being cut today will be compulsory. Those 760 military personnel who did not volunteer for the redundancy will be notified by their commanding officers. Although the MOD maintains that any member of the Army in operation about to deploy or recovering from deployment have been exempt from this round. But given the need for further reductions in posts, these personnel could be at risk in future redundancy rounds. These job losses are not connected to the current arguments over the next spending review 2015 to 2016, which will be announced on the 26th of June. Those negotiations are still ongoing, and the Ministry of Defence is one of the departments which has yet to settle its budget for that year. The 2010 Strategic Defence Review announced the Army would be cut by 7,000 posts. A further 12,000 positions were later added to bring the Army down to a size of 82,000 by 2020. The Royal Navy and RAF were cut by 5,000 each at the same time. These posts have already been cut. Those being forced to leave today will have to quit the Army by June 2014. Charles Satici has dismissed pictures showing him with his hand around his wife Nigella Lawson's neck as the pair sit at the terrace of a restaurant as part of a playful tiff. The chef appears to be grimacing in the pictures taken outside Scott's in Mayfair, central London. Scotland Yard has already said that it was aware of the pictures of Nigella Lawson which were published in The Sunday People. A police spokesman said, "Inquiries are in hand to establish the facts of the incident." Mr. Satici admitted that he had a playful tiff with his wife at the restaurant. Nigella, the daughter of the former Chancellor of the Exchequer Nigel Lawson, was reportedly seen weeping following the episode, and her spokesman has confirmed that she has since left the family home with her children, but said that there would be no further comment from the TV chef. The couple are said to be regular visitors to the upmarket restaurant Scott's in Mount Street, London, which claims to offer diners the finest oysters and fish. Nigella married Mr. Satici, who made his name in advertising back in 2003. She has two children, Cosima and Bruno, from her marriage to the journalist John Diamond, who died of throat cancer back in 2001. She became a household name in 1998 with her first cookery book, How to Eat. The photographer who took some of the pictures said that the couple had no idea that they were being photographed at the time. Well, coming up next on GAP News, adult porn drawing users towards illegal images of abuse, and Newcastle director Joe Kinnar ridiculed after disastrous Johan Kebab radio interview. All that and plenty more after the break. Don't go away. Welcome back, you're watching GAP News, and a top reminder of our top story tonight. 477 posts are being cut today by the Ministry of Defence. Previous reductions have shrunk the Navy and RAF to the size required. But it is taking further redundancy rounds to reduce the Army by a fifth, as set out by the Defence Secretary, Philip Hammond. The Ministry of Defence says 84% of the redundancies are from applicants. It means 16% of the posts being cut today will be compulsory. Mostly as TV journalists, we report sudden headline-grabbing change. Seeping gradual change is often less dramatic and sometimes even difficult to spot. But that doesn't make it just as momentous when we do spot it and realise something significant is happening. The figures obtained today by ITV News from the Internet Watch Foundation, IWF, are proof of just such change. They are evidence of the horrifying extent of child abuse images now being uploaded and swapped online. Talking to the Child Exploitation and Online Protection Centre, CEOP, we have also discovered that thousands of people in this country are regularly looking at this indecent material, more people than the police can realistically arrest. The link between the contact abuse and the online abuse is fiercely debated. Some say as many as half of those who have access to the material online may go on to abuse. Others estimate it would be around 1 in 8, but few would argue there isn't a link. Stuart Hazel, who murdered Tia Sharp, is just the latest criminal known to have hurt a child after seeking out abuse images online. But what all the experts I spoke to during this ITV News investigation do agree is that the vast quantities of adult porn now being consumed are drawing more and more viewers into the vortex of illegal underage material. At CEOP's London headquarters, they are developing software to help them identify and arrest those most likely prone to a threat to children. I was able to watch the officers as they analysed the data on their screens. They explained to me that the red dots I can see on the computer maps represent more than 100 computers where paedophiles are looking at child abuse material at this very moment. CEOP officers also have software to help them identify and locate the abused children in the pictures and videos. They rescue several children a month from perpetrators in the UK who are abusing them and photographing them for online distribution. These IWF figures reveal momentous change. It may have happened gradually, but the amount of child abuse images now available online represents change of a horrifying nature. Leading forecasters and scientists are due to meet to discuss what is causing the UK's unusual weather conditions today. It comes after the freezing winter of 2010, last year's droughts and floods, as well as the coldest spring for more than 50 years. Discussions at the Met Office in Exeter will seek to answer whether the unusual seasons were the result of a natural variation or linked to impacts of climate change, such as melting Arctic sea ice, which could be influencing our weather. Mass protests are continuing throughout Brazil, with hundreds of thousands of demonstrators converging in Sao Paulo, Rio de Janeiro, Belo Horizonte and other cities. And finally, Newcastle United's new director of football has risked alienating the club's fans completely by claiming to have more intelligence than them during a calamitous radio interview in which he mispronounced the names of the team's star players. Joe Kinnear's appointment has yet to be confirmed by the club's bosses, but the man himself announced his new job on Sky Sports News on Sunday and then on TalkSport Radio on Monday night. Irate fans immediately called into the radio programme to blast the 66-year-old's efforts at pronouncing some of the club's biggest names. His attempt at Johan Kebab, sparked enough tweets from dissenting fans for the topic to trend on Twitter. Shola Amobi, a Newcastle player for 13 years, including during Kinnear's brief stint as manager, was pronounced Shola Ambobobi, prompting this tweet from the striker's younger brother. Jonas Gutierrez was Goal-Terez, Haytham Ben Afra was both Ben Afri and Ben Afra, and Papi Cisse was Sissi. When asked by TalkSport what he would say to unhappy fans, he said, "To all the fans who don't agree with this decision, shall I bring Derek Lamzini Lambras, managing director, back in? What do you want? What do they want?" He then made a series of audacious claims about his contacts within the game. "I've spent my whole life talking to Alex Ferguson, week in, week out," he told the show's presenters. "I can pick the phone up at any time of the day and speak to Arsene Wenger, any manager in the league." His closing remarks included saying that the critical fans were talking out of their backsides a load of tosh. "I'm not accepting it as simple as that. I have certainly got more intelligence than them. That is a fact." He has also appeared to suggest that he had signed goalkeeper Tim Krul and defender James Perch, players that respectively joined the club before and after his 6-month stint as club manager in the 2008 to 2009 season. Retired striker John Hartson later rebuffed a Kinnear claim that he had been brought by him at Wimbledon. Kinnear's first time on Tyneside was overshadowed by a foul-mouthed rant at journalists accusing them of having an agenda against him. His tenure as manager ended up due to a heart attack, and Newcastle were relegated at the end of the season. Well, that's it from us. The weather's for you next, and I will have updates for you throughout the evening. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you at the same time tomorrow night. Bye bye.